Alright, what's up everybody? This is Rob Shack. So today we're doing the next video in my testing out all of cloned weapons and seeing what little effort they put in to make them all unique series, I guess. So today we're going to be doing last week we did the swords, so we had Wang Zhang, we did the other people, Wang Zhang, Zhao Yuan, and Zhou Tai. Today we're going to do the spears, so we have Ma Chao, he has a club, he has a pike, so not him, okay. So we'll do whatever his name is, I just said. Ma Chao. We'll do Tai Shi Shi. We'll do Lu Meng's got a pike. I think Ling Tong counts. Nope, Ling Tong is pike as well. Sun Ce, we'll do him as well. And then we'll do, who else? Not Xu Huang, I think Zhang He is the other one. Alright, there's Zhang He. I think that might be it with them, and then we have none of the other characters. Okay, so yeah, we'll start with Ma Chao just because we have him open. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all are enjoying these videos. These are interesting to me because clearly with Dynasty Warriors 6, they kind of got behind. I mean, they totally did. They totally got behind schedule, and they were running out of time, so they just had all the characters that they didn't redo their movesets for, they threw them into this situation where they were like, we're going to make them all reworked and look really great, but we're going to take away their weapon and their uniqueness and give them the other characters, the edit characters, like the generic character officer movesets, which is what they did. It's kind of weird that they did that. I don't know why they thought that was going to go over well with the audience, especially because in Dynasty Warriors 6 for the PS2, a few of these characters, and this one in particular, actually had their own movesets. Because Ma Chao has his own moveset in that game, and so does Zhang He and Tai Shi Shi, actually. So this is the one where a lot of people these would not be duplicate characters if they were in the game normally, the way that they were in Dynasty Warriors 6 for the PS2. It's very odd that the PS2 version had more content. I don't really know what's up with that. But, alright, so now we're starting to get into the actual moves here. So far, there's been no, like, elemental things at all, so Ma Chao may just be like the normal guy. Usually there's like one normal guy, there's one elemental person, and there's like a different elemental person. That's usually just, they didn't really put a lot of effort into these. There was enough of a difference last week that I actually had a preference of who to play as. But let's see if his moveset does anything. Okay, he does like a very small ground pound explosion thing. His AoE is just a swing, so that's not very interesting. Let's see if he has anything going. Okay, he is literally not doing it. So far, he has had no slashes, elemental stuff, nothing like that. His Muzo has a very, very small, where he hits the ground right in front of him, but I don't. And when he shoots a little, like, solar beam forwards, that's decently interesting, I guess. But still, so far, Ma Chao is pretty boring. I mean, we're hoping that when we get to infinity here, that he does something. But again, these movesets are actually pretty cool. In my opinion, it's just that you gave it to everybody, and then it really ruins the coolness of it if every single person is doing it. So he does have a single like light beam AOE slash at the or forward thing at the end of his final charge attack there. That's decent, but he really is not doing much. He's kind of terrible. So Ma Chao is not very good. There's nothing going on here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and immediately go off of him. Not very interesting, not gonna lie. So that's Ma Chao. Next up is Tai Shi Shi. Let's hope that he has something else going for him. Again, this is where it's like, I think usually there's one person like the Ma Chao, which was Zhou Tai last time, where he just didn't have any uniqueness to him at all. And so I'm assuming that they made Ma Chao, and then they were like, okay, let's like deviate from Ma Chao, essentially. So let's hope that Tai Shi Shi actually does something. I know for a fact that Zhang He's is actually pretty good, so I'll get to that when I get to him. But for now, I'm not gonna spoil that part of the video. I've done this before with the characters, which is why I thought this video was interesting, and that's why I kind of saw Zhang He's moveset in this game, what happens with his moveset, and I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting, and that's why I thought this would be an interesting little experiment. But yeah, so Tai Shi Shi is a little bit slower than Ma Chao. I am noticing that, but again, I mean, they could have made the move speed, like the weapon swing speed different too. I don't know why they didn't do stuff like that, but it's fine. Alright, so far, still nothing. Let's see if it was... Okay, that doesn't do anything either yet. It's level 2, so I'm not super worried about it. But, I like when they actually come up to me. For a long time on the Rampage level, they just keep running around and they don't come to you. I don't really know the point of that. It's kind of funny to me that there's just enemies just like patrolling and you're just slaughtering whoever you can right in front of you. But I'm like, why are y'all not fighting me? I don't know. I don't know why they just kind of keep running. It's really funny to me. So I think he does the exact same thing as Ma Chao. He just shoots forward. Yeah. But his final swing is better. I see that he's also shooting a beam on the third swing, which is more than Ma Chao did. Let's see if his... Okay, that still doesn't do anything. His long charge doesn't do anything, but his actual explosion at the end is way better. So that's a noticeable thing. Let's see if when we get to infinity, will he do anything else? I'm hoping that he does something else cool, because we've at least got one going for us. He has 2 swings, and does that final one also do an explosion? Okay, so he's not even shooting a beam on that last charge. Ma Chao shoots a beam on the last one. He shoots a beam on the third one, and then does an explosion for the third one. So that's much better than Ma Chao again. Because Ma Chao has that, it's just only that. So... Of course, now Ma Chao's going to beat me up because I just made fun of him. Yeah, here we go. But, yeah, no, that's just interesting. So, again, Tai Chi is just better than Ma Chao in every way. He still doesn't have anything for this attack, the long charge. It's usually the move that's supposed to do AoE, but it seems like his AoE is with literally different attacks. So, definitely Tai Chi is better than Ma Chao in basically every way, because he actually does more swings and more damage and more power and stuff. So I'm like, cool, you have AoE stuff, you have better things going for you. So Tai Chi, totally better than Zheng He. Easy. That one was not very hard to decide. Now we'll do Sun Ce, who also has a spear. I'm just gonna do one more last quick check. Yep, he has a pike. Yeah. Just checking to make sure I'm not missing somebody, because it'd be really embarrassing to miss. I think Ling Tong has a pike, which does not make sense given Ling Tong's agileness in every game that he's been in. And then they give him a pike in this game and make him very slow. Doesn't really make any sense, but who cares? So yeah, all right. So now we're going to be moving through Sun Ce. Let's see if he's any different than Tai Chi. I would hope that he is. He might not be. He might not be. No. So again, it's just so funny that they were like, okay, we need to put more movesets on people, but we don't have time. So let's just like change the elemental attack on each one. But like, why is Ma Chao's so bad then? I don't know. Like, isn't Ma Chao supposed to be good? And what's so funny is that Ma Chao is actually pretty good when you give him the unique weapon from Dynasty Warriors 6 with the weird sword thing that he has. Like a kind of a great sword, but he can actually swing it fast. Which doesn't really make any sense. Like, traditionally, the greatsword weapon has always been a slow-moving weapon, but in Dynasty Warriors 6 Special, I've seen videos. Haven't gotten the game yet. Don't know how I'm going to get that game yet. I want to get that game because I want to just dissect how weird it is that Koei made the game for the better console have less content. Like, I don't really get it. I don't get it at all. So, it's pretty funny. Pretty funny stuff. But anyway, so yeah, Sun Ce has a spear in this game for some reason. I don't know why, but they always try to change Sun Ce's moveset. I don't really understand what the point of that is. It's very strange. And so okay, this is so lazy of them, but it's funny. What I just noticed there was his second to last swing of his Muso actually had both a beam and a explosion, and then nothing happens on the final hit. Like, look at this. This is so weird. Beam and explosion, and then he just stands there and doesn't do anything for his last hit, which is pretty funny. So, but then let's just keep working on killing all these people because they keep hitting me, and I losing all my charge, which is unfortunate. Since I was kind of bad, but it's also just because they decided to be really good this game. But the spear moveset is like cool, but it isn't that great, honestly. Like, I think it would be cooler. It's just a lot of the same movements, which is what kind of feels lazy to me. It's just like the same spin literally 3 times in a row, and then they're just adding an elemental to the last part of it, which is kind of weird. Yeah, but so Sun Ce has. It is weird that he has no the like final animation where he lowers his spear doesn't do anything at all. It's just, they just threw both of them on his second to last where he actually, like, which makes sense. It actually makes more sense that Sun Tzu's moveset looks like that compared to the way the rest of the people do it, where, like, the final move actually does something when it feels like it shouldn't. So, kind of interesting. Again, I don't really know what they were trying to do with that, but it's like, it's fine. But, oh, and his, if you hold down the charge on the Muso, it does that little same beam thing, okay? That's interesting. But again, it's not that big of a deal, you know? Alright, so now we're going to keep working on this. Let's try not to, okay, well, great. At least I got my infinite Rimbu, because this doesn't actually take my Rimbu away now that I'm infinite. Let's see if he does anything. So he has the same explosion-y thing that Tai Chi Shi has. Let's see if his... Okay, and he actually shoots something out with his long charge. I was wondering why nobody was getting that done. So at least he's got something there. Lubu is just destroying me. Okay. But there we go. We got him. But yeah, he has the same exact charge attack pattern as Tai Chi Shi. An energy beam on the first one, and then a AoE attack on the final one. And I think the AoE attack for Sun Tzu is a little bit better, honestly. I don't think it's as... It looks more prominent. His large charge, he actually does shoot a giant beam of energy, or light, or whatever that is that's happening. He does shoot something out with his large charge, as opposed to just kind of not doing anything like Ma Chao's. And I can't remember what the other guys. What did the other guy do? You saw it. If you saw it, you saw it. I didn't. I can't remember right now because I'm going through all these characters and they kind of blur together because their movesets are all the same. So, but I think Sun Tzu is a little bit better than Tai Chi Chi because I know that this move, the long charge, is different. And I think the difference between Tai Chi Chi and Sun Tzu was that the Sun Tzu's little like final flourish doesn't do anything in his Muso, and Tai Chi Chi's was still an explosion. Sun Tzu's combined his Tai Chi Chi's two movesets and then also added an extra charge. So I would say that Sun Tzu is actually a little bit better than Tai Chi Chi. So that's pretty cool. So far we've been progressing through them in order, which is kind of interesting. Now we'll move on to Wei, which I think everybody else besides... Yeah, everyone else besides them is not actually... So interesting that Wu has two spears, Ma Chao is the only Shu spear, and then Wei has one spear too. So it's interesting that you'll see in a second, Zheng He is actually way more unique than the other two. I mean, still the exact same moveset, which is kind of boring, but Zheng He does actually have more stuff going for his moveset in this game, which is funny to me because I'm like, why did you animate? I mean, well, it's because Zheng He has a freaking custom weapon in the special game, so they just left those. They must have clearly been working on those animations in the moveset, and since they didn't have the moveset, but they had the like effects of Zheng He's claws, they just left the claws and effects and just threw them on the spear and moveset, which is kind of weird. So who knows? I don't know why. I don't know what the point of that is. So you'll start to see pretty quickly here, Zheng He has AoE things on all of his charge attacks. So you saw one there, so that makes him a lot. I mean, again, I don't think it really makes much of a difference, but at least they like tried to do something. He actually has something going for him there. Let's see what happens with this. So he has a ring instead of an explosion around him. He still shoots a beam of energy out from his spear, but it looks purple too, but then his ring around him is different. Everybody so far has had ground pounds or like explosion-y thingies, but Zheng He has not that. He has like a ring, which is interesting. Yeah, so he shoots ice. Okay, so he's an ice elemental. I actually didn't know that. Okay, that's pretty cool. So Zheng He again has way more going for him in that he's an ice character. So his Muso actually freezes people. He has AoE slashes that when he does his charge attacks, they always create little butterfly things around him, which keeps him safe. And then he has a ring for his final Muso. So he freezes people, also has the ring, and then flowers, and then he shoots something forward that also is that. He basically has whatever goes around him moves forward on the final swing. So again, way more, and his Oh, and his AoE is really good too. Okay, so yeah, Zhang He is. If you're gonna play through the game with a spear character, you gotta pick Zhang He because everything about his moveset is way better than everybody else's. I think it literally progressed. If I had to rank them, I would say Zhang He is the best, but then it goes straight down the line. So I'd say Zhang He is the best spear character in the game just because of all the moves. The explosions, the freeze elemental is always cool, and the fact that he also has that unique ring ability. Like he shoots a little ring around it instead of everybody else has the exact same thing. So that's pretty cool. He actually shoots a little tornado forward. That's pretty cool. So I would say Zhang Hei's the best. Then I would go Sun Tzu because of the better Muso and the AoE charge. Then Zhou or then Tai Shi because he has more stuff going for him than Ma Chao, and then Ma Chao is the absolute worst. So interesting stuff. Again, so this is where I mean, this is what makes this why I did these videos was because I saw Zhang He do that, and I was like, oh, it's interesting. Zhang He actually, like, they took a lot more time on Zhang He by giving him this like custom explosion animation thing that like no other character has it, and then also Zhang He has the ring thing, which I think other people have the ring, but he like literally shoots a flowery tornado forward a little bit. It's not far. It doesn't have a lot of range, but it has more range than what everyone else was doing. So I'm like, interesting that they were like, you know what we need to do is give Zhang He like, well, clearly, I mean, again, clearly they were working on this, but they just ran out of time because the PS2 version of this game literally has more content. So like, I find that hilarious. Okay, so let's try to. I like doing his little. This move is so good. It's quick and has massive range, so that's pretty sick. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Zhang Hei's is pretty cool. I would say Zhang He is the best, by far. So what's his Oh, so he has the true speed. This is really bad. Look at this. Look at this. They clearly were like not ready. Look at this. He's just doing his dash attack as his true speed. Like, look at his feet. The feet made no sense there. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed it. This was fun. Again, it's pretty great to watch them. It's pretty funny to watch them try to do a little. Oh, is it a? Oh, it's a. I didn't realize. Okay, it's literally a like fire ice ball. It's like an ice ball, not an actual beam. I finally like got a good look of it. It's an ice beam ball thing. Like, let me see it. Let me see that from this angle. Yeah, it's like a little tiny ice ball that freezes people. Okay, I thought it was like a beam of light, but it's literally an ice ball. It's pretty cool. So again, we put some effort into Zhang He, but that's it. You know. Yeah, this move is definitely the best move he has. You just can clear out armies with this thing, and it always stuns the enemies, which that's normal for AoE charges, but still. All right. Well, thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Peace.